all the participants of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad America who are celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of our monk, our greatest ever born sage Swami Vivekananda on this day of 27th and 28th. I hope that your celebration will go very well with a lot of dignitaries present. I am speaking from India. I could have managed to come, but I couldn't get the message in time. The Gayatri Gyan Mandir Chicago is the co-host of this function. Swami Vivekananda is one of the most dignified person in the field of spirituality, who talked of scientific spirituality, who talked of varieties of the things in which he wanted people to become bold. He wanted all the time to take the leadership in hand. Swamiji was a very well read person. His original name was Narendranath Dutt, born in Calcutta, but he, being a person from a very rich family, he initially was enjoying a very luxurious life, but his whole life was like a monk. He didn't enjoy any resources in his house, which became poor afterwards, after his father's death, because of the lot of debt and all those things which are there in the name of his father, Vishwanath Dutt. Swami Vivekananda happens to be my role model, and I suppose that each and every Indian who is living here or abroad should consider him as a role model. Swami Vivekananda, in fact, when he was born, he gave a glimpse of his being born as a great person. जैसे पूत के पाँव पालने में नजर आते हैं, we call it the one person who is going to become great, or the historical personality. That person is seen very much in the childhood. He was a logic-minded person. He used to argue on many things, like whether God exists or not. His Guru Ramakrishna Paramahansa, whom he met at the age of 18 years, told him everything about what God is and how to feel God. And I feel that meeting a right Guru at right point was the clicking point for Vivekananda. He was so young that when he joined Ramakrishna Paramahansa, at that stage he was trying to learn the disciplines of bhakti, disciplines of yoga, disciplines of Vedanta, but he was very well read in philosophy, spirituality, and he was very well read in many things. Contemporary thinkers like Hegel, like Kant, they said that if he would have come to philosophy, he would have been the best philosopher of the whole world. If you can imagine that. So 1893 he was born, 1863 he was born, and 1886 his Guru left the body, Mahaprayan, Mahasamadhi, and he gave him the target of leading the whole group. 1886 to 1902, this is the only lifestyle which is visible to us, 16 years. And these 16 years, he really lived a life of a tapasvi, very hard penance monk, and in which he traveled like anything, traveled all over. And he came to Chicago. Chicago happens to be one of the very historical city where he delivered his Parliament of Religion message in 1893, 11 September. And that historical message brought the India in the focus. Because earlier than that, many people did not know about India, or they knew about the snake and sages, Saap or Sadhu ka desh. So what happened afterwards was actually the revolution occurred in the field of religion, in the field of spirituality, in the field of philosophy, and a lot of people started agreeing to the philosophy of Indian spirituality taught by Swami Vivekananda in various lectures from 1892 to 1895, then 1897 to 1899, and then again 2001-2002. We can imagine that in this little period of time, 16 years time, he traveled so much that his health went down, his degraded health, and he was unable to even walk properly. He used to have a lot of problems like bronchial asthma and many problems. But his message was only one, that the unity will come only if we forget about the differences of the caste. Unity will come only if we are independent and if we are bold enough to face the adversities of the life. And he used to give very good examples of Ramakrishna Paramahansa's teaching. He said one of the verse of the Kathopanishad, उत्तिष्ठत जागृत प्राप्य वरान्य बोधत, उठो जागो रुको मत जब तक लक्ष्य तक न पहुँच जाओ. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. And what is the goal? To become Mahamanav, to become great people, to become sage person. We started this particular ceremony of Sardhashati Samaroh, 150th anniversary, on 12th January in Delhi, in presence of Mata Amritanandamayi Ma and Mohan Bhagwat ji and various other people. I delivered my keynote address and I delivered a lecture on Red Fort also, which was listened to by about 20,000 people on the bank of the Yamuna river and just near the Red Fort. And then we started the movement all over the country. We are also with the Vivekananda Sardhashati Samaroh program. Throughout the country we are organizing the program, and we are trying to bring the Vivekananda in the knowledge of the people, in the knowledge of the youngsters. And as you know that India belongs to the maximum 600 million people are young in India. They are between the 15 and 35 year age group. So Swami Vivekananda's message can be very vital to them. Actually his message was that the politics and religion should not be mixed together. The religion has to be religion and politics has to be politics. That's why he never interfered with the Britishers. He never argued with them, but he was bold. He used to say everything boldly. He never said political thing boldly, but whatever he said, the assertions, the spiritual teachings, everything boldly, and character building. He used to say, if I get 100 persons with a good character, nice character, then I can change the whole destiny of the whole world. He could not get 100 persons, but now there are thousands and thousands of Vivekananda in India and various other countries who can transform really the image of the whole world. The one thing which he used to be very proud of was the Nar Seva, Narayan Seva. If you do the human being's service, then you are doing the service up to the God. The hands which worship are not bigger, but the hands which save someone, hands which do the service are much greater than the hands which worship. This some way some people may say that he was very harsh in his saying, but I feel that he was very right. And once it happened that a lot of money was collected for Belur Math, and there was plague in Kolkata, and he immediately started announcing that we will not build mandir, we will not build temple of our Thakur, but we will all be donating our resources, money, to the care of the plague stricken people. And a lot of people were dying. Ultimately the various people of high caliber, the Seth, Mahant and various people who were rich enough, they said, Swamiji, you need not give your money, we will give our money. And then with that money and with lot of monks being sent in the field, the plague was taken care of. At that time the medicines were not that much effective as they are today. And ultimately he was the first person from the field of spirituality who talked about Narayan Seva, Nar Seva. We people are suffering from the same type of problems here in this country. Lot of floods, lot of you can imagine the Uttarakhand tragedy, how big it has been, how immense it has been. More than 70,000 people either have died or are missing, and their houses have been swept away. The houses are left with only widows and the lonely sons and daughters, means young children and the old persons. हिमालय को हम लोगों ने गायत्री परिवार के 10 करोड़ लोगों ने गोद लेने का प्रयास किया।
मैं डॉक्टर साहब का बहुत आभारी हूँ कि यहाँ सबके लिए दरवाजे खुले हैं।
गायत्री परिवार ने परम पूज्य गुरुदेव जी की प्रेरणा से पीड़ित मानवता की जो सेवा की है उसके उदाहरण मिलने कठिन है।
So what we are doing is we are also doing the same thing. Swami Ramakrishna Mission is also doing the same thing, and many organizations who are adopting the various villages, schools. We first started 200 schools in the hill area, and now we are providing them housing accommodations, and we are collecting donations from the people, and we are trying to extend our support to the remote areas, especially 3 districts: Chamoli, Rudraprayag, and the Tehri district, Uttarkashi. 4th is Uttarkashi. These 4 districts are worst affected. The Pithoragarh district is in distant district. It is also affected to such a level that the whole village has been swept away. And because of our nuisance, our nonsense, which we did, we constructed on the bed of the village, bed of the river, the villages and the houses and the resorts. This particular thing nature didn't tolerate, and nature had to ultimately teach a lesson to all of us. Now everything is left on all of us to serve the humanity. A lot of people are engaged in rehabilitation work. They are building houses of 2 rooms, 3 rooms, insulated, because within 2 months the winter will come, and this winter will destroy everything. So that's why I postponed my all programs, because I need to be here with my colleagues and my friends, as we are also member of the National Disaster Management Force in Delhi. At the central level, only 2 missions are, two organizations are there: Ramakrishna Mission and our mission Gayatri Parivar. So all world Gayatri Parivar is engaged in a lot of activities, and this is really the following of the Ramakrishna Mission or Swami Vivekananda, who really communicated this through his various teachings. मैं आप सबको इस अच्छे आयोजन के लिए बधाई देना चाहता हूँ, और मैं कहना चाहता हूँ जो भी महापुरुष लोग वहाँ आए हैं, जो भी रिलीजियस बीइंग्स वहाँ आए हैं, सेलिब्रिटीज़ आए हैं, उन सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई कि उन्होंने भी बहुत अच्छे काम किए हैं अपने संगठनों में। और मैं समझता हूँ कि जो आने वाला समय है वो और भी ज़्यादा हमको कमर कस के तैयार रखने का है। 4 धाम दर्शन glimpses have not been opened yet. They are trying to open it for 10 days, 20 days. They are trying to propagate that the yatra is open, come, people come. But there are no facilities, there are no roads, no road connectivity. Where will they stay? Where will they go? So ultimately this is just a non-judicious aspect of the government, which they are trying to bring everybody here. First let us have the infrastructure. Infrastructure should be very strong, then only we can do it. We have built about 5 or 6 varieties of fabricated houses, and we have kept them in our center Shanti Kunj Haridwar, which is the main cantonment. We supplied food to about 1.5 lakh people. 150,000 people were given ration. They were given 1 month ration. They were given the kit, and house to house delivery, home to home delivery, walking about 20 miles, 30 miles, we did it. I hope that you will all get some lesson from this, that if we try our best, we can do something for the society. We can pay our homage to Swami Vivekananda, and we can give our offerings to Swami Vivekananda, not by flowers, not by words, not by lectures, not by big pravachans, but by doing service to the community, service to the nation, service to the whole humanity. Anywhere, wherever there is a loss of life, or anywhere there is a damage to the humanity, we should try to extend our help, and we do it in Gayatri Parivar. I convey my best wishes for success of this program, and I hope that by the end of this 150th, I'm joining one big program in the Kanyakumari on 20th October, just morning till evening. That is the Sardshati Samaroh Central Committee's meeting, and I'm the member of that, patron of that, so I will be joining that, and I'll try to participate in the summing up program on 12th January. So these are all few things which are associated with Sardshati Samaroh. Such great people are not born every day. They are born only rarely, or in lot of centuries are are passed, then these people are born. He did a work of about many centuries, and he is the glory of India, his glory of whole world. And this particular person who started his life from Chicago, World Parliament of Religion, in 1893, we should reverently we remember him, we should worship him, and we should try to do whatever he has said. We should try to follow his teachings. I hope you will all follow the teachings, you will all follow the work which he has done. Thank you very much.